It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and 17 of the best cowboys in Texas have gathered here along Salt Creek. They're here to do a job, men like Buster "Punch" McLaury, wagon boss Bill Hemphill, and ranch manager J.J. Gibson. Today, they and all the other cowboys here will leave their pickup trucks behind and head out by horseback across one pasture of the 4 Sixes Ranch. They'll be looking in the brush down in the gulches and behind the big rocks for white-faced Hereford mamas and their black baldy calves. It's weaning time on the 4 Sixes.
We're going to cut these calves off from these cows and send them to our other ranch. They'll be in with them in a little bit.
The 4 Sixes, almost 250,000 acres of unforgiving ranch land about an hour east of Lubbock. Just surviving out here ain't easy. Working here takes one heck of a cowboy.
We go through and usually work a pasture a day. Some of these bigger pastures, it takes 2 days to get them gathered and weaned off.
Looks like hard work.
I just always done it, never done anything else.
You ever want to do anything else?
Never have.
How come?
I guess just kind of grew on me. I always liked, grew up riding horses from as far back as I can remember. I always rode, always enjoyed it. I like being around cowboys. For the most part, sure enough, good people. And always when the cowboy's your friend, you can depend on him no matter what happens. You know he's going to be there, backing you up. Making a difference whether you working cattle or what it is. They're not very fickle. Cowboys are pretty solid citizens, in my opinion.
Legend has it that the 4 Sixes name came from a winning poker hand held by the ranch's founder. Today, the 4 Sixes is famous not only for her cowboys, who are some of the best riders and ropers around, but for having a resident writer, photographer, and poet, Buster McLaury.
There was once a brindle steer in the Pease River breaks that had been missed on many a roundup. He had been pursued by some of the best, but his number had never come up. Heard some old poems and songs as I was growing up, around these old ranches. Memorized some of the older ones, like Little Joe the Wrangler, When the Work's All Done This Fall, one sure enough old ones. And as I got older, I just get inspired every once in a while.
Buster grew up here on the Sixes. His daddy and granddaddy worked here before him.
Growing up on these ranches, I'd listen to these older fellers, and they'd, tell stories about bucking horses and wrecks and first one thing, another like that. And as I got up in high school, I got to thinking, well, so many days these fellers all gonna be gone. Them old stories will be gone with them, So I enjoyed them. I thought I'd write them down. Somebody else might enjoy them someday.
Buster McLaury, cowboy, writer, poet, photographer. Chances are all that doesn't fit your image of a real cowboy. Well, now, that just depends on what you think a real cowboy is.
It's hard work. That's something I think a lot of people have an idea of a cowboy. Well, you mention cowboy, a lot of city folks, and they think first thing they see is an old boy, a bunch of feathers on his hat down at Billy Bob's or something, or picking a guitar or driving a truck. Well, that ain't cowboy to me. Even these rodeo cowboys, I ain't got anything against them or anything like that. I'm talking about the working cowboys, works on these ranches, makes their living doing it. And a lot of them don't make a very good living at that, but they love the life. They keep staying with it. Well, they called him Sling Loop Slower, and according to his brag, he'd stack his loop on anything, as long as his horse didn't lag. Now, he'd rope most every kind of creek. Most of these poems are funny, or try to be funny, and I just wrote them to entertain myself, friends, whoever had to be around. A few of them tell about the work that we do. I feel like somewhere on down the road, somebody might want to know how it was way back when. And I'd sure like to have it told the way I've seen it. Well, the little gray badger run between two trees, spun around quick as a wink. He hissed and bared his fangs and claws. Old Roney had no time to think. He couldn't go to the right nor the left, for the brush was just too thick. So he done a quick about face too. Sling Loop didn't think so quick. Now Sling Loop's number I've always got, as long as this story I know, about the day a 12-pound badger took his horse and got his goat.
We hope you'll stick around this coming year to help us celebrate. It just wouldn't be the same without you. I'm Bob Phillips. This is Texas Country Reporter. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hopping in and traveling with us. Now click the subscribe button for more videos like the one you just saw.